With the truth, the facts, we lay you down flat. With a melanated empire, never hold that.
Simon Ryan, the building. Peace, love, and coconut oil family. Give thanks for being with us yet again. Another video. It's a short build this time. You know, we're trying to make the builds kind of short these days because I know not much people got any time really. So we're just going in. But in this video, we're going to be separating the men from the boys. Or we're actually going to be turning, probably, hopefully, boys to men. Maleness versus manhood. The impetus to build this video, family, basically came from a lecture from Henrike Clarke that was going in regards to maleness versus manhood. And I find he was making some really crucial points, some very good points that even most men and women sometimes can't differentiate twixt the two between maleness and manhood. You know what I mean? And we could blame it on our upbringing, we could blame it on mass media, you know, social media as well. I mean, even the movies, Hollywood, even that whole gangster rude boy attitude, you know, which is really a lot of the time ego. You know what I mean? It makes us actually confuse maleness for manhood. And most of us, when we protrude that maleness, we actually think it's displaying some sort of manhood, you know. So a lot of people can differentiate the two. But for the gods and goddesses, and even those who even on the journey with me, we're going to build on this family. Short build. So maleness and manhood. Let's define maleness. Maleness would be that masculinity, that natural hormone secretion, chemically you have within you. Now if you're a man, obviously that dominant chemical reaction I'm talking about, which makes you masculine, would be testosterone. Now that has been naturally bestowed upon you by nature. Okay, for the woman we know it's estrogen, but since we're talking about males, we're talking to the males right now, we're talking to the gods, right? So that maleness, family, would come from that level of chemical reaction, that testosterone within you, to basically project yourself in that ego like manner, like yeah, I'm a man. You know what I mean? Your fight or flight, family, for example. Okay, because a lot of bedrooms think, well, you know, to turn away from a fight actually making them a coward, making them a pussy. Straight up. So it's like that testosterone, that maleness, that masculinity, that level would actually make you want to stand up in the fight and show them what time it is. You understand? That masculinity as well, because it's a chemical reaction. And if it's something being produced, then it has to be expelled through the body or through the skin as well. That would be our male pheromone. I was thinking about prominence, but prominence is the gases released by planets and celestial orbs. But when we talk about pheromone, these are the gases that we would naturally, as men, release from our body. That gas, particularly, can excite a woman. You know, I mean, and going into the world we live in today sometimes may even excite men as well. But that gas which is produced naturally has the ability, family, right, to excite a woman, to make a woman feel good, you know, because she would literally feel that she's basically in the arms of someone who can provide security and who can stand up in the face of adversity. You understand? So that maleness would also be the contributing factor to the ego. It is what would make us have our ego as well as males, family. But that is all maleness. You see what I'm saying? That is maleness. That is when you're a teenager and you're growing up and you're thinking you're man already and you really have no experiences yet. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Because I was growing up as a teenager and I thinking I didn't live life already and I didn't know what time it is. And if I have the knowledge I had now, based on the knowledge I have now, back then I didn't know nothing. I was a little idiot. You understand? Even though I had that ego portrayed and showing that, you know, yeah, I feel I reached that man stage already. I know it yet. And even right now, probably later on, you know, through life, having lived through different experiences, I may find that presently, even what I'm saying now, you understand, is even not nothing. Because remember, it's just a building, family, and it's just an ascension. So you can always work towards becoming a better version of yourself. That's why some memes you will read and they will tell you, well, like, if you knew me yesterday or last week and you haven't met me yet, you probably don't even know me. Because you're supposed to be evolving and changing every day for the better. That is the hero within you, right? But we're not going too far off. That testosterone, family, is the maleness. But that's the maleness, that's the boys. That is the boys vibe. But it is maleness versus manhood. So what classifies as the manhood? One of the number one reasons, okay, is responsibility. Now I know a lot of us hear that word going and shooting all about the place. But have we ever gone to look at the definition of it? Yeah, we might know the act and what it means. And to be responsible, family, differentiates a man from a boy. You know? To be responsible basically just means to be liable, to be taken into account. To be like basically you can voucher, you are the motive, you can give an account, the primary account. Knowing the consequences of your decisions and embracing them. Premeditating what the consequences are for whatever decision you may take, be in whatever pep or whatever difficulty that has presented itself to you. You see what I mean? Meditating on all the possible solutions and the repercussions of the particular solution you may decide to go into. So responsibility is like, you know what? If that and that happened, I can say that, so you know what? Yeah, it's me. You check it and pardon for that. You know what I mean? Or if basically I achieve something, I can take on that victory onto myself. Not make it exceed some kind of state of maleness of that testosterone and feeling, yeah, I'm all it and nobody and nothing. But in regards to evolving as a masculine being, family. Okay? Manhood would also be defined as, because remember we were talking about the maleness can actually make you get a woman and excite a woman. When we go into the manhood level, you sort of become like a protector. You want to protect and secure what you have basically earned through hard work, be it a woman, be it a work. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's just being responsible, family. Being protective and knowing the consequences of your actions and your decisions. That defines manhood. And you see, when you start to know them things, you're starting to decide different things differently. Like certain things you would just be, let me just go through that. No, you kind of have to sit back. Because if we say we're students, master students, I'm a master student, you know. I really no teacher, I'm a master student. So what I learn, I'm passing it on to the family. If we say we're master students and we after African spiritual systems, Nile Valley culture particularly, although we're going in West Africa pretty soon, it's like, you know, we're dealing with Ma'at. So when you deal with Ma'at, you have to deal with that balance, you have to deal with that righteousness, you have to deal with justice, you have to deal with order, you have to deal with reciprocity, you have to deal with propriety. It's true you're going to have all them words in your head, but from the time you think of Ma'at, you have to think about balance. When you think about balance, you have to think about just wits. Everything is balanced and nice. I hurt nobody, but at the same time, I know what's going on. So, those of us who may still overly be in that ego or that maleness side, it's time to evolve, man. It's the awakening, it's the evolution going on. Man never stop evolving, you know. So, I'll leave that maleness and go to the manhood. And yes, I know most of us are responsible. But like myself, I ain't taking out myself, you know. Like myself, we can always do better. And having said that, family, continue going in your ascension. We go link up in the next video. Peace, love. Don't forget that.